What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Astro Tea and what's happening celestially. So first off, I'm going to talk about the planetary transits that are happening from the 3rd through the 10th. And then later on in the video, we'll get into some tarot cards and see what else our guys have to say. Everything you need is going to be in the description box below. Including timestamps. That's what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm working backwards just a little bit. I just really wanted to include this new moon that's happening on the 2nd, and it's happening in the sign of Pisces. So what I recommend is just taking time to really fantasize about like what you want your future to look like, and also what you want the future of the world to look like as well, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is like anything on a global scale, on a massive scale. So I think that's very important. And also remember that emotions is energy in motion. So right now I am trying my best to stay off of social media and trying to, disengage as much as possible, because I know what's happening in Ukraine and things of that nature. And for me, I just don't want to put any negative energy out there because it's already negative, and it's like I don't want to add more fuel to the fire. So that's just kind of my thing. Again, emotions are energy in motion, so keep that in mind. And so I think that this Pisces new moon is going to put us in a place where we can plant seeds that revolve around healing emotional wounds correctly. And also just figuring out ways to be a little bit more creative and, tap into spirituality, much different than we have before. And then we also have Mars entering Aquarius. Venus is also going to be joining on the same day on the 5th. So Mars is very independent, very much a trendsetter, more so Aquarius energy, to be real. And so during this time, I feel like we're going to have a lot of amazing ideas, a lot of amazing ideas come to us, and we're going to have the energy Mars to put those things into action. And I think it's going to put us in a place where we're not going to be feeling so stagnant, because I've mentioned in a couple of videos back, we had several planets in retrograde, and this is finally, the time where everything is going its normal speed. And so it's almost like a whiplash, so it kind of took us all a minute to just recalibrate. So just take your time, but I do feel like once this starts, it's going to build momentum, and we're going to have more energy to really get things done, which is what I'm looking for. So I think, until this time, I'm just going to be sleeping as much as possible. And then when the time is right, I'm just going to hop into action and get a lot of my goals accomplished. Some things I've just procrastinated on a little bit, but we're doing things. We're doing big things over here. And then we have Venus, which is all about your values and love. So it's like Venus is love. Then you have Aquarius, which is friendships. So I feel like, finding a lot of really amazing connections during this time it's really high, and I feel like it's going to be really beautiful, especially again, taking into consideration what's happening in Ukraine and Russia and things like that. It's going to be really helpful for us to create our own support system at this time, because so I have been saying this for years. It's going to come a time where we are going to start relying heavily on anyone in politics to help us out, because again, I don't think people understand how expensive war is, and we're also getting out of a pandemic. So it's just like, why the fuck is this even happening? Of course, I don't really want to speak on it now, but I have my own theories based on what I've seen and what I've heard in astrology stuff. But it's very much a game, like it always is. It's always a fucking game. It's a game of how the fuck can the male ego get us into some shit? Like, that's exactly and that's what happens. You know, it's very much, history repeats itself all the time. And also this energy is very reminiscent of the Civil War, the Rodney King riots, the HIV and AIDS pandemic. I want to say the Revolutionary War, but I have to double check on that one. 9/11 is another one. This is all, again, if you think that these motherfuckers don't know about astrology, you are wrong, because they wait until the exact moment, you know, like because astrology is all about timing. It's about psychology and things of that nature. And it's like, if you get the timing right, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And so this is giving that same vibe as well. So that's why I said that I'm not going to really be engaging in too many conversations about what's happening over there, because I don't want to put negative energy out there. I'm just trying to convey and explain what I'm feeling about it. So what I feel that we can really do is, like on the 9th, we have Mercury entering Pisces. So I feel like we're really going to be in a space where we're not going to be so timid about what we feel. And also, you know, we're going to stop playing small, because it's like our essence is like fitting the ocean into a teacup. Like, it just doesn't work. So I feel like we're going to, again, Mars be taking more action in the realms of what we value, Venus, you know. And Pisces is very much about compassion, taking care of your neighbor, taking care of your family. And Aquarius is also like that as well, you know, taking care of the underdog. So I feel like that's where we're really going to be at this time. It's just like we're going to be doing a little bit more based off of our intuition and what we're feeling, rather than what we think, rather than what people rather than what we think people would believe about us. Like, we don't care about there we go. We're just throwing away labels. We're just really trying to do what's best for our community and ourselves and our family. And that's what I really feel like we're going to be doing. And the biggest thing with the Mercury in Pisces is that Mercury has a hard time in Pisces, because Pisces is very fluid and it kind of does what it wants. You know, it doesn't really have a plan necessarily. But what I will say is that we're really going to be coming in, having a deeper connection with our intuition, like it's a GPS system, because I feel like during this time we're going to have to rebuild. You know, like, again, I said we just got out of a Panda Express. You know, they're doing their shit over there in Ukraine and Russia. So now it's like we have to we're gonna have to take things into our own hands, essentially, because we can't. And that's the biggest thing that history has shown us, is that when we allow these individuals when we expect these individuals to take care of us, they don't. And they use the money and funds in ways that would benefit them, rather than the people who got them to this place in the, you know. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm just going to be focusing my energy on what I'm trying to do for my life, how I can contribute to my community, and other communities that, you know, need assistance that I can give. And I also think that collectively we're just going to be in a place where we're going to be healing to make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes that have happened in history, or we don't fall for the same narrative every time. You know, there's always this narrative about like, oh, this place is a threat to our safety, so we need to go to war. And it's like, but are they threatening our safety? So it's just like it's just like in the past, it's like people were so eager to sign up for war, and it's like now it's like because of, and that's the one beautiful thing about the pandemic, is that we have realized that there are more important things, again, Venus value. There are more things that we value than superficial things, you know? And yeah, flexing how big your army is very superficial, and we don't need it. And it's like, that's not what we asked for. that's not what we ask for. So again, I just think that we're going to be in a place where we're going to be rebuilding a nation and a country and communities better than we ever have, you know. And also be patient with yourself and be patient with others as well, because a lot of us are going through the same shit, one, and two, we don't really have much to kind of go off of as far as building a community that's healthy. So we're just gonna have to kind of, again, follow your intuition, feels what, you know, kind of feel what is right, and then do your best to communicate what you desire and need, and listen to others as well. So let's see what the guides have to say. Okay. And also, quick side note, if you're interested, this video is available in podcast format. So yeah, it'll be uploaded every Thursday at noon, so keep that in mind. Okay, we got a lot of cards, Spirit. I did not expect all these. Yeah, we got a lot of fives in here. A lot of fives, fours. Fives is all about conflict, makes sense, and fours is all about stability. So we have the Five of Keys, which is the Five of Swords, the Four of Swords, or Four of Keys, the Ace, I love these cards, Ace of Candles, the Prince of Candles, then the Five of Candles, or the Five of Wands, Four of Candles. This is a very interesting spread. And then the Three of Candles. Okay. All right. So first off, we're at a place where, again, there is going to be a lot of conflict, especially with the keys. It's the sword. So I do feel like there's going to be, we're going to see a lot of conflict play out in social media. And the thing is, it's intentional, because I mentioned this before in like a previous video, but the intention of the media is not to really like give you the information, is to tell you how to feel. So since you are seeing these same videos on repeat of just constant destruction and things of that nature, and again, Mars is a warrior, you know, keep that in mind. It's just like they're putting you in a place where they want you to feel helpless, you know, because, you know, we've been taught that we're supposed to be so perfect and very superhuman, but in reality, we're just human, and that's okay. And we can only do what we are capable of doing, and that's fine. Which is like, if you are only capable of helping your community or donating money, that's what you should do. You know, that's what you feel is right. That's what you do. And so I feel like, with the Four of Swords, you know, take time to really rest, because it's going, you know, if you're trying to be hyper vigilant about what's going on in the world, it's going to really tire you out. And, you know, bringing it back to the Mars entering Aquarius, it's like, it's kind of, it's blocking a lot of really great ideas that are going to be coming towards you, you know, because we have the Ace of Candles, which is all about fire, passion, and desire, and new creative ideas, you know. So it's like, if you're not careful, the conflict that you see in the media is going to really tire you out, and you're not going to be able to put forth the energy in places that you really need it. And then we have the Page of Candles, or the Prince of Candles, excuse me, which is the Page of Wands. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of things coming through in the media, and it's going to get you fired up, and it's just not going to be beneficial at all for your mental health, for your physical health, because everything is interconnected. The mind and the body are one. And I do feel like if you allow yourself to take breaks and kind of detach from all of that, just for a bit, you're going to see that, you know, there are going to be more opportunities for you to connect with people and to kind of, you know, just chat with them, talk to them, and you might even figure out or find out that you guys can create something really beautiful together. And then we do have the Five of Wands, or the Five of Candles. Again, very lot of combative energy. So we're going to see conflict not only on the ground level, and it also could be in your connections as well. You know, people fighting about what they believe is right. And again, the purpose of the media is to tell you how to feel. So there's going to be times where they're going to have you feeling very depressed and very anxious, and they're also going to be putting you in a place where they want you to create a divide against yourself and others. You know, like for example, the whole maskers and non-maskers, that was a weird and really stupid debate. It's just like, if you feel comfortable wearing a fucking mask, wear it. If you don't, do what you, I mean, do what, like, to be real, do what the fuck you want. It's just that serious. It's just, I mean, it's not that serious, excuse me. So it's just like, that's just one example. You know, same thing with race. It's just like they're creating all classism, all the isms. They're creating all these weird little divides, and it's stupid. And again, it's to keep us from actually creating a life that makes sense. You know, this is how history keeps like repeating itself, because we haven't quite paid attention to the patterns of how they push this conflict into our faces and shove it down our fucking throats, and then we feel as though we have to pick a side, but in reality it's all a fucking game. 9 times out of 10 it's all about money, control, and whatever else they want to do behind the scenes, which I do believe we're going to be finding more about that, more about like different things that are happening behind the scenes, because we do have Pluto, which is it's some people debate on if it's a real planet, but the way that Pluto comes in with a sledgehammer, a few examples is that anytime there is something, as an example, someone has a evil plan, or something around, trigger warning, sex cult, sexual assault, things of that nature. So like the Giselle, what's her name? Giselle Maxwell, something like that, whatever, who was Epstein's side hoe or whatever. Her trial started, you know, pretty recently, and it's been going on for a while, actually. This isn't anything new. So, and again, she's been dealing with sex trafficking and things of that nature. Then you had Nexigum, which was a big, huge sex cult that went down. Then we have a lot of political figures that are going to be, what was it? Prince Andrew was another one. You know, his shit got aired out, you know, and, a lot of these type of scenarios are going to be playing out in the media, and again, it could cause a lot of conflict between in our like interpersonal relationships, because it's like, oh, this person was innocent and they didn't mean nothing by it, or it's like, no, that was fucking wrong. It's just like, again, you have to pick and choose your battles, because how do you want to spend your energy? That's what you need to do. And then it's so funny, we have the Four of Wands, which is Aries energy and Venus. Focus on what you value, and then we have the Three of Candles, which is all about expansion. It's the sun sign, it's Aries as well. So it's like, how do you want to expand in a way that makes sense, you know? And also, when you are more in line with your values and your passions, everything just flows so beautifully, because it's like you're not in conflict with your own interests versus what people are telling you to do. And it's just like, no, do what the fuck you want, and, you know, don't really apologize for it. And then, you know, bringing it back to the Four of Candles, it's like, when you have your values and finances, very Venus, in line, and the energy is, you know, your energy is hella high, it's like, what you're going to be unstoppable, point blank period. And I think I'm just really excited, because it's like, when you use your energy in the correct way to build yourself up first, then your community and your family, you're unstoppable, and you're going to create something that is extremely stable, you know. And it's like, it's something that you're going, since it's the candles, it's something that it's going to really like light a fire within you, and you're just going to keep going, and it's going to be something that is going to create longevity. And it could be something that you have to travel in order to accomplish, you know, because we have the 3 of Candles, which is very much like travel, expansion, seeking out new opportunities and things like that. And it could also be, again, connecting with others too. So we have, from my crystal deck, we have Rose Quartz, open your heart. Yeah, very Pisces energy. Jade, be their bigger person. Look at this shit. The card said, what? Drag them. Drag them. Read them for filth. We have Iolite, shift your money mindset. Very, very Venus energy for sure. Smoky Quartz, let it go. Drag them. And then Lumerian Quartz, practice patience. That's, you know, if you have placements in your chart where Mars is transiting in a very specific house in your chart, you don't want to overexert yourself. But you also don't want to overexert yourself trying to prove a point. That's another thing, which is, again, what war is all about. I swear to God, the white man's ego is going to get is going to get us into trouble all the fucking time if we don't pay attention to the patterns. You know, it happens all the time, because in reality there is no need for this shit to be going on. And also I have my theories, because this is just my theories and based on what I've seen. But you know, the president or leader of Ukraine was an actor and playing the piano with his penis. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is the most confusing shit I've ever seen in my life. So, but anyway, yeah. And then you have Putin, which is very much going after money and gains, and he's not giving a fuck about anybody at all. So again, open your heart, because we're all dealing with the same shit. You know, it's just that serious as well. And then also open your heart, because you could be receiving a lot of new blessings at this time. And the reason why you are receiving these blessings is because the divine source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call that energy, is giving you these opportunities because they know that you're capable of doing something extremely beautiful and something that's going to actually help us all evolve rather than de-evolve, which is what we've been doing. Like, quick example, electric cars were created by the Nazis in World War II. That's nothing. Electric cars are nothing new. You know, the little lime scooters and stuff like that existed like 200 years ago. Moving sidewalks, wireless phone lines or whatever, the power lines. We've had wireless power lines. Like, none of this shit is new. None of this, again, you have to pay attention to the patterns. You have to pay attention to history, but not what the media is pushing, because they're going to, again, they're telling you how you should feel. And that's not the case. You are a beautiful, autonomous, divine being, and the more you listen to what they're telling you, the more you're not capable of being the real trendsetter that you actually are. And again, you know, we have shift your money mindset. You know, again, with this Venus energy, it's like, if you feel confident in what you're capable of doing, your guides are going to put everything in place for you, and you just got to take action. And Venus, you know, it's very much like sticking to what's comfortable, but in a way that makes sense, you know. So it's like, if you want longevity, you're going to put forth that effort, you know, because Venus rules Taurus and Taurus and Libra, excuse me. Taurus specifically, because it's like a bull, once they get going, they don't stop until they meet their target, you know, until they hit that bitch. That's exactly what they but yeah, be the bigger person, because again, we do have these energies interacting with each other, specifically Mars and Venus. Mars can be very forceful, also bringing it back to the sexual assault cases and stuff that I really feel like is going to pop off significantly in the media. So being forceful and trying to control the narrative, trying to control situations, has never worked for the individuals that can actually control the media. But in reality, I'm going to wrap this up. It's time to wake up. It's time to pay attention to the patterns. It's time to see what this world is really about. And it's time to also wake up to your potential, you know, and be patient with yourself. Because this is a new era, you know, and in order for you to be a trendsetter and to be a little bit more experimental and figure things out for yourself, you have to take risk. And also, if you're spending your energy in the wrong places, you know, fighting with others, paying too much attention to what's happening, what the media wants you to feel, you're not going to get as far as you want. And I want what's best for you, and your guides want the same. So keep that in mind. And really, I'm just sending love to everybody, because I know this is some bullshit, but this isn't the first war or pandemic that we've ever gone through collectively. So we're going to get through it, but this is our chance to do it the right way, to just be autonomous, really, outside of political systems. Because in reality, what have they done for us? To be real. And for Black people, it's like they always pacify us. You know, they give us a street sign or a statue named after Martin Luther King, but they don't help us to put the laws in place to prevent police brutality and things like that, or anything around the isms and systematic shit. There's nothing really in place. So that's where I kind of want my focus to be, at least me personally. And I'm gonna just let them do them over there, because, you know, again, I'm sending love and protection and things like that over there. But I gotta worry about what's over here, and I suggest everyone do the same, because this is all we can do. Because if we preoccupy ourselves too much with what's going on over there, we can easily fall back into this same repetitive cycle of repeating history in the wrong ways. So, and that's not what I want. I want it to evolve, and, you know, all these things like that. So good luck, sending love, and please stay off of social media, or at least, you know, limit it to like a couple hours a day or something like that. Whatever you can do, spend more time reading, spend some more time being creative, you know, and just invest more in yourself. That's what really I want people to do. So good luck.